Hello everyone. In this video we are going to talk about what is a web API. At first, let's suppose that we need to create a web page to display the conditions of the weather, something like temperature, vision, cloud status, and so on. In this case, instead of rewriting the code from scratch, you can use some ready services, which is called a web API, to display this thing. So the web API, it is an API or it is a function over the web which can be accessed using the HTTP protocol. Okay, then the API can be written by any server-side programming language or any backend programming language like PHP, ASP, JSP, etc. Look at this diagram. In this case, we have here a database. Here we have an API. This API can be called by any mobile application like Android, iOS, Windows Phone, or even from any browser like Google Chrome, Firefox, and so on. So the API will connect to the database, retrieve the data, and then give this data to any applications. Okay, let's suppose that the web API for the weather has been written using C#. And I need to call this API using the PHP. Now we have two different programming languages. In this case, we need an intermediate language between PHP and C#, and this is called JSON. The JSON, which stands for JavaScript Object Notation, is a lightweight data interchange format, which means it works as an intermediate level between the web API and the language which need to call this API, irrespective of the language. As I told you, if the web API has been created using C# and I need to create this using the PHP, I will face no problem because the API will return something called JSON, which is understood by all the programming languages. The JSON can be either JSON object or JSON array. The JSON object is used to retrieve a data about one object, for example, one car or one employee. Let's suppose this is information about one student. So this student has name. Look at this type of curly bracket which used for JSON object. It is something like CSS. So we have here an attribute which is the name, colon, and the value of this name which is Ali. Here also the age and the value of this age is 30. So this is called JSON object. What about if I have multiple students? In this case, you need to use JSON array, which start with the square bracket, and inside this square bracket you can find here we have an object, JSON object, then comma, then another JSON object. So the JSON array is used when you have a multiple rows, something like multiple students, okay? So this is the JSON object and this one is the JSON array. For example, let's suppose that we have go here to google.com, and inside Google I need to retrieve the weather, for example. So I have write something like weather web API. Okay, I can use this one, open weather. Okay, this is very famous. Okay, so open weather map, this website is used to display the weather, but as a developer I can call their weather API. So if I go, for example, to this one, which is the current weather data, and let's suppose I click on this hyperlink here. Yes, as you can see here, here is the weather condition. Here is the temperature, here is the pressure, here is the humidity, and so on. But this data is in JSON format. So in this case, you need to decode this data to display them to the user in standard format. And that's what we are going to talk in the next videos. So in the next videos, we are going to talk about how can we create JSON object, how can we create JSON array, and then how can we make encode or decode for both JSON object and JSON array. So see you in the next video.